Alright, so what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see in the bottom right, there's double XP active in this game for everything, and to be honest, I don't really have a reason to be playing this game at the moment. Like, well, normal play anyway. Ranked play, obviously, there's a reason, but normal play, I just haven't been playing recently. I just don't really have a reason to, and I'm enjoying ranked. Warzone as well, I've been playing a bit more Resurgence lately, but for normal play, I haven't really got anything to do. Like, I've got everything around in the game. I'm sort of passively going for this weapon mastery thing I talked about, I think a few videos ago now. I was talking about how I was going to sort of passively go for this. I have been doing that every so often. Well, at least in ranked, I've been going for like the guns I use in ranked. I've been trying to complete them. And if I get really bored sometimes, I'll just hop into shipment 24/7. I'll get, I'll play a few games, get a couple kills. I'm not really going for it, but every so often I'll just hop on and play. But to be honest, we're in that sort of waiting phase now where I think we're about 2 weeks off season 4 being released. It's like 15 days or something on the counter, and we're just sort of waiting for that to come out now. We've had all the content for season 3. I mean, we got that like 3 weeks ago, it feels like now. It feels like ages since we got some new content in this game. I've just been sort of thinking lately, because everybody knows the state that Modern Warfare 2 is in. Whether you enjoy playing the game like me or not, you've got to admit that the popularity for this game is pretty much in the bin, both for Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. Despite what the player count is or what the revenue is on the microtransactions, everybody knows that this game's popularity is probably not as bad as Vanguard, but it's probably one of the worst we've seen in a long time. And to be honest, I think this Season 4 update that's coming out is going to be the make or break for Modern Warfare 2. I feel like everybody's at the sort of wit's end now. This is going to be the last chance to sort of get people's attention again, and if they don't with this season, I feel like it's pretty much like a wrap then. I mean, obviously in Activision's eyes, it was a wrap from like January or something. They gave up on the game a long time ago, but they could pull an absolute blinder with this season and just, bring it back, make the game fun again. Like I say, it really depends on what they do with this season. I mean, they have a lot of potential. I mean, they've had potential with this game since it came out, which is the most frustrating part. I think everybody sort of realizes the fact that Modern Warfare 2 is a good game at its core, but the problem is that they're not doing anything with it. All the feedback that they're being given, nothing's being done with it. This fucking guy, man, this fucking crimson skin and his Vaznev thinks he's playing fucking ranked. It's shipment casual. Get a fucking life, mate. I've lost my entire train of thought because this fucking OC kid's got to be one of the sweatiest guys I've ever seen in shipment. Fucking little nerd, man. Yeah, I'm out, actually. I deal with a VTOL, fuck that shit. Yeah, I just feel like this game has had a lot of potential, and that pretty much sums up this game perfectly, actually. It's just wasted potential. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like I said, I'm still enjoying the game, I'm still playing the game, but I can understand why people, are disappointed with this game. And frankly, I'm disappointed with the game as well. Just because I'm still playing it and having a bit of fun with it doesn't mean that I think any less of what other people think. I just think other people are quite harsh when it comes to it. Like, yeah, I get this game is, not doing it for you. It's a bit of wasted potential. They haven't really been doing a lot of content, but for some people to go out and say that this game is worse than Vanguard is just intellectually dishonest. Like, you are just lying to yourself and everybody around you. People who say they'd rather play Vanguard as main year support as opposed to Modern Warfare 2 are just literally ill. Like, there's no other way around it. Like, you're just fucking stupid. There's no cure for that level of stupidity, unfortunately. There's no way to fix that. Like, I don't think you understand how bad Vanguard was, even in terms of popularity. Like, when it comes to this shit, people just like to lie, especially about the game that's, currently being supported. They like to just lie and say how bad it is, even though they would much rather play this than like half the games in the franchise. Although this game definitely has had, I would argue, one of the, actually, I'll probably say the second worst year of support that a Call of Duty game has ever had. First is obviously being taken by Vanguard. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Yeah, without a doubt, this game had the second worst year of support. It's not even over yet, but I could just already tell you that it's just been so disappointing. It's captured so little people's interest, or I should rather say that it's lost so many people's interest. Like a DLC cycle, a live service game should be recapturing people's interest every couple months, or even every month with a reloaded update, but this game just did the exact opposite. Like, a reloaded update would consist of like a map, a camo grind, which is pretty cool, and like a new raid, which isn't really a lot if you think about some of the other years we've had. But it's just a shame, because if Modern Warfare 2 was shown the love that Modern Warfare 2019 or Black Ops Cold War was in the year of support, this game would be popping right now. I can almost guarantee it. It's not even like it's just in like balance changes and feedback that they've lacked in, but it's also been content as well. Like, I feel like a lot of people could put up with the lack of like changes to the core gameplay, even though some of them are pretty drastic, like the movement speed and the ADS times, all that shit. I suppose all this poses the question of whether or not Modern Warfare 2 can be saved, and to be honest, no, it can't. And that has nothing to do with the game or whatever they bring. I mean, Season 4 could be the best season we have had in Call of Duty history. This could come with 6 maps, 3 of them being remasters like, High Rise and Afghan, and, we could have all the balance changes. My God, that is loud.
Idiot sandwich.
What? What, pussy?
Oh.
I've never heard such a bass boosted echo in my entire life. Jesus Christ, are you in a wind tunnel or something? Fucking hell. I can't even hear my own gameplay. His echo is louder than my own fucking game volume. What the fuck? I've actually completely forgotten what I was talking about. That was so funny. That was the loudest echo I've ever heard in my life. Right, I think I was saying, can this game be saved? Although Season 4 could be the single greatest season we've ever seen in like a COD game, it's simply the fact that this is a Call of Duty game. And what do I mean by that? This game is going to be scrapped in like 3 months. That's the problem. Like, they could recapture everyone's interest. Tons of people could come flooding back to this game thinking, Modern Warfare 2 is so good, they've saved it. And then in 2 months' time, we're going to have the reveal for the next Call of Duty. They're going to stop marketing Modern Warfare 2. And then in a couple more months' time, no more DLC is coming out of this game ever again. So, it doesn't matter what they do now. It's too late. Now, Warzone, that's a different story. I mean, they could 100% turn around Warzone 2 because that is a game that is going to carry on. But with Modern Warfare 2 specifically, I just don't think it's possible at all. And this is why the Call of Duty cycle needs to stop. I mean, we thought it was going to Modern Warfare 2 because it was going to have a 2-year life cycle. And to be honest, I believe that was the plan up until Modern Warfare 2 failed, quote unquote. Even though this game had one of the best launches and one of the most well-received launches in COD history, they just did nothing with that. They could have kept this game going for a year too if they made the content good, but instead they fumbled it. They fumbled one of the biggest slam dunks in Call of Duty history, and I don't think I'll ever be able to understand how or why. Like, say what you will about Modern Warfare 2 now, but you've got to admit, before the game came out, this was the most hyped Call of Duty game ever. Like, I don't care. I mean, yeah, the hype levels for original Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 2 or something like that might have been high, but the thing is, there's so many more people playing Call of Duty now that the hype levels are just, like, Call of Duty is, like, yeah, it was global back then, but gaming is just a more widely renowned thing nowadays. Whereas back in the day, I feel like gaming is sort of like a niche thing. Like, yeah, people play games, but now it's like it's a main, like, you've got esports, CDL, you've got YouTube, all these things where there's careers in gaming. Whereas back then it was just a casual thing people did. They had one of the biggest slam dunks in COD history. I mean, they had a Warzone 2 coming out. They had a Modern Warfare 2, a sequel to Modern Warfare 2019 coming out. They had all these different changes and stuff. Promises that the game was gonna be the original, but just better. And yeah, there were some things they fumbled on. They could have fixed that very easily. Like, things like the perk packages, they could have reverted that straight away, just gone back to a normal perk system. And what did they do? Nothing. They did absolutely nothing. It's genuinely because Infinity Ward are so fucking stubborn with their games. Like, they can make an incredible game, like, basis, like, the engine, the feel, with some ideas. But there are some things that they fumble on, and I'd be able to respect that. Okay, I'm gonna leave now. I've done the challenge. I would be able to respect the innovation if they had the, what's the word? They had the ability to sort of go back on themselves and be like, yeah, you know what? We were wrong on that. We apologize. We're gonna revert this. But say with the perk packages, instead of actually reverting it, they just leave it the exact fucking same. It's just because Infinity Ward are so fucking stubborn that these games fail. That's all it is. I mean, if Infinity Ward actually, admit they had the capacity to admit that they were wrong on something and, their vision was flawed, then maybe these games would do better. But instead, they just, oh, so fucking irritating, man. It's genuinely so frustrating when you know that a Call of Duty game can do so fucking well, but because of their stubbornness, like, I could go to Infinity Ward if I sat down with a developer or whatever, and they were like, we're gonna take all of your advice on how to fix this game. It's not rocket science. I guarantee that most people would be able to give off a list of things that they want to see changed, and the majority of the community would be able to fix it, but they just, I don't know if they don't listen or if they don't see it or whatever it is. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys very much for watching. Can Modern Warfare 2 be saved? Although it might do a bit better than it has been doing, no, because in a few months we're getting another Call of Duty game. The COD cycle continues. Thanks for watching.